Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 2018. A half-year after the death of the Jurassic World amusement park on Island Ubler, a gathering of hired fighters are shipped off Island Ubler to recuperate the bones of the Indominus Rex from the Jurassic World title pond for the production of another hereditarily changed mixture, the Indoraptor. A submarine is sent down to recover the bones, and it sends them up on a float before it is gone after by the Mosasaurus. Individuals ashore who opened the door to the tidal pond lose contact with the submarine pilots. The door begins to close and a Dilophosaurus can be heard taking off in the wilderness. The trees close by shake and Jurassic World's veteran Tyrannosaurus Rex goes after the gathering. Jack is left on the ground and their helicopter allows down a rope to stepping stool. They get away from the Tyrannosaurus. However, Jack is then gulped by the Mosasaurus after it hops high up and it escapes from its nook. It then slices to the central area, in the year 2018, where Claire Deering, the previous park administrator, has now established the Dinosaur Security Gathering, an association committed to saving and safeguarding the dinosaurs. After the public authority won't subsidize a salvage activity to save the dinosaurs, close by Ian Malcolm, Claire meets Benjamin Lockwood, an old colleague of John Hammond, who consents to finance the salvage mission and carry the dinosaurs to another safe haven island where they will be passed on to reside all alone, protected from human impedance. Lockwood's colleague, Eli Factories, requests that Claire enroll Owen Grady, a previous raptor mentor who worked at the recreation area, to find and catch Blue, the last enduring velociraptor. Claire initiates Owen to help her salvage the excess dinosaurs from the island. Claire and Owen then, at that point, set off on a contract plane with Zia Rodriguez, a paleo-veterinarian, and Franklin Webb, an IT master, both from the Dinosaur Security Gathering. When their plane grounds, the gathering is shocked to find an enormous headquarters has previously been set up, and they are met by Ken Wheatley, a major event and prize tracker. They generally set off alongside a gathering of hired fighters to reactivate an unwanted radio interchanges tower that they will use to find the dinosaurs through their FID chip inserts. En route while going through the Jurassic World Central Avenue, they experience a Brachiosaurus. Owen, Zia, Wheatley and a portion of the Soldiers of Fortune go to view as Blue. Owen recommends that he set out all alone to view as Blue, and the others stay behind at the truck. At the point when Owen happens upon the fallen Traveler 04 close to the old Tyrannosaur enclosure from the primary Jurassic Park, Blue leaps out and Owen attempts to bond with her before she is sedated by Wheatley and his hired fighters. Irate, Blue handles a hired soldier and kills him, yet not prior to drawing his sidearm and shooting her, much to Wheatley's and Owen's consternation. Owen attempts to go after Wheatley, however Wheatley sedates him and takes steps to shoot Zia. Zia says that she is the one in particular who can keep Blue alive and Wheatley has his men put their weapons down. Mount Cybojects, causing the hired soldiers safeguarding Claire and Franklin to frenzy and drive off, locking them inside the old correspondence's place. A Baryonyx shocks them by slithering through an old passage, yet is briefly held under control by falling magma. Franklin and Claire barely get away from through a crisis stepping stool and lock the Baryonyx inside the correspondence's place. Owen rises and shines from his obviousness, however is still generally fixed. He is shocked by a Sinoceratops, which plays with him for a brief period prior to moving frightened away and taking off from the oncoming magma which slithers toward Owen. However, he figures out how to, scarcely, escape not long before he is immersed by the magma. He runs into Claire and Franklin and hollers at them more than once to run. The three evade the magma and falling flotsam and jetsam and magma bombs, while abstaining from getting stomped on by the rushing dinosaurs. Franklin and Claire both conceal inside a gyrosphere, when a Carnotaurus shows up and battles a Sinoceratops, prior to being nailed down and killed by the T-Rex, who likewise makes a run for it. Franklin, Claire, and Owen make a run from the consuming debris. Owen is dialed back a piece by the debris, yet Claire and Franklin tumble off the edge with a few different dinosaurs. The magma bombs break the gyrosphere, and Claire and Franklin nearly suffocate, however can endure when Owen opens one of the entryways utilizing his endurance blade. Creeping up on the ocean front, they see a few of the dinosaurs, like the Baryonyx and T-Rex all being caught. The hired fighters on the boat called the Utopia start confining every one of the caught dinosaurs. Wheatley takes a couple of forceps and yanks a tooth out of a sedated Stegosaurus. Owen, Claire, and Franklin likewise see Blue being tended to by Zia, who has been captured. Then the three utilize a truck to drive on the boat, which is leaving the island. They just scarcely scrape by, and watch the island wreck behind the scenes. A caught Brachiosaurus shouts to the withdrawing transport prior to being inundated by the debris and dying. Eli is disheartened by the absence of progress, and meets with Gunnar Eversole, a barker who intends to sell the dinosaurs for cash. Lockwood's clear granddaughter Maisie hears their discussion and learns of their arrangement. Eli takes Gunnar to a lab, where he uncovers that they are making another dinosaur with Indominus Rex, Smurfette's mud model, and Velociraptor called the Indoraptor, and possibly different enhancements afterward for military interests and fighting, with the ongoing one being a model, and their arrangement to involve it for strategic purposes. Maisie endeavors to tell Benjamin, however he apparently accepts she misheard them and sends her off to bed. Owen, Claire, and Franklin get together with Zia, who accepts they need Blue for something. Zia further lets them know that before she can treat Blue's gunfire wound, she wants a prepared blood bonding for Blue for good measure. Sadly, much to Claire's chagrin, the main blood match on the boat would have a place with a sedated T-Rex ready and inside one of the vehicle trucks. Thus Zia sends both Owen and Claire to recover a portion of the experienced dinosaur's blood. They track down the Tyrannosaur and effectively get her blood, yet are secured in by a portion of the gatekeepers as the T-Rex awakens. As the disturbed creature blows a gasket and whip fiercely, Claire gets away from through the top and opens the fundamental entryways of the enclosure. Owen barely gets away from the T-Rex's snapping jaws before she can mess with him into equal parts. The group gives the blood to Blue before they make a scramble. Tragically, Franklin is gotten and confused with a hired fighter, and is compelled to assist with moving the dinosaurs to Lockwood Estate. Owen and Claire slip into a truck, yet are found by Wheatley and detained in the storm cellar of Lockwood Estate. Maisie, having noticed plants entering the entry code for the manor's lift the earlier day, covertly enters the research facility and watches a few clasps of Owen preparing the velociraptors on Island Ubler. Her investigation is intruded on by plants and Dr. Henry Wu. The last option is very fretted over Blue's condition. Maisie, trying to get away from the two men, maneuvers into a hallway and experiences the confined Indoraptor, who connects and delicately strokes her hair from behind. Maisie shouts, cautioning the consideration of plants, who irately accompanies her higher up and secures her in her room. Lockwood stands up to plants about the last option's actual aim of selling the dinosaurs in a close-out, rankled that factories has crossed him and involved his own manor as the sales setting. Requested by Lockwood to call the police himself, Plants rather kills Lockwood by covering him with a cushion. Bidders before long show up for a dinosaur close-out and put their offers on different types of dinosaurs caught by the group on the island, including an Ankylosaurus, an Adolescentalosaurus, a Baryonyx, and numerous others. Subsequent to being caught by Wheatley, Owen draws in the consideration of a Stygimoloch, making her cutting edge the wall and in the long run get through the entryways of Owen and Claire's cell, permitting them to get away. In the meantime, in the close-out room of Lockwood's home, Eversole and Factory show the group the model Indoraptor, accentuating that the creature isn't available to be purchased. Stunned by the animal's capacity to lock on to a particular objective, kindness of a laser and an acoustics sign on a firearm, the participants start to offer on the Indoraptor. Eversole is cajoled by plants to acknowledge offers, much to Wu's hatred as the model Indoraptor comes up short on his genome, and in this way can neither follow more unambiguous orders. Owen and Claire experience Maisie, who has gotten away from her room and found her dead granddad, and the three go into the close-out room as the Indoraptor is being shown. Understanding that the Indoraptor is unreasonably hazardous to be sold, Owen disturbs the bartering's procedures with the guide of the Stygimoloch and unleashes devastation among the observers, making Factories and Eversole end the close-out. Owen outperforms a few soldiers of fortune close by to hand battle, then inverts a switch which keeps the Indoraptor's enclosure from leaving the sale room. Later at night, Wheatley goes into the abandoned close-out room and notification the Indoraptor, Having never seen the animal and needing one of its teeth for his accessory, Wheatley shoots the Indoraptor with 2 sedative darts and enters the enclosure after the Indoraptor seems, by all accounts, to be quieted. Truly, the Indoraptor is unaffected by the sedative darts. He grins and occupies Wheatley by waving his tail in the air prior to cutting off Wheatley's right arm and gobbling up him. His passing is seen by Eversole, who makes a scramble for the lift, without being spotted by the half-breed, where the wide range of various chiefs were stowing away, however pushes a lady far removed so he can get to the code to close the lift, making her shout at seeing the Indoraptor, who surges at the still open Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, 2018. A half year after the death of the Jurassic World amusement park on Island Ubler, a gathering of hired fighters are shipped off Island Ubler to recuperate the bones of the Indominus Rex from the Jurassic World title pond for the production of another hereditarily changed mixture, the Indoraptor. A submarine is sent down to recover the bones, and it sends them up on a float before it is gone after by the Mosasaurus. Individuals ashore who opened the door to the tidal pond lose contact with the submarine pilots. The door begins to close and a Dilophosaurus can be heard taking off in the wilderness. The trees close by shake and Jurassic World's veteran Tyrannosaurus Rex goes after the gathering. Jack is left on the ground and their helicopter allows